Okay, hello. Everything all working all fine and good. Here we go. All right. Today we are going to have to just jump right in because we've got a lot to talk about and I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes if possible. So, today what are we talking about? Communicating your value like a boss on video. How to communicate properly and seem like a boss, like the boss you are. Basically, that way you're able to get your message across to your target audience or whoever you want to reach very well, clear, succinct, concise, everything, all the good stuffs, rather than coming off as someone who is who's not sure exactly what they want to say, who is not sure exactly what the video is going to be about. And when things are like that in the video, there's multiple messages in the video, they ends up being no takeaway from a video, right? So that's what we're going to talk about really quick. So let's hop right in. Hope you guys Friday is doing good so far. Today is Good Friday. It's a good Friday. All right, so let's go. uh here we go. Oh yeah, I gotta position myself a little bit this way. Okay, actually we'll do it this way. All right, let's go. Communicating your value like a boss on video can be very different from communicating, in person. As our previous live stream, if you did watch that, you would see that it is different. Communicating on video, talking on video is much different than talking in person. Very, very much different. And if you have done so before, you probably know the difference. And it's kind of like a switch of a mode that you have to switch on when you're recording or doing a video on video rather than in person. Is kind of a different way. I do know some people are very natural with it. How they are in person are exactly to the T how they are on camera too. And sometimes, there are pros and cons to that. Sometimes it can translate very well, sometimes it can't. Especially if you are a very good communicator already in person, that you kind of go straight to the point and you kind of know exactly how to communicate your message very well in person. Sometimes it can translate very well on video. So when you get on video, you just go right in. But it can be it's very different because here you're not really seeing eyes. Here you're seeing a lens. So it's much different. So let's see how we're going to start off with. Very first thing, of course, we want to do is okay, let me get this here. All right. First off, we want to what is going to help us communicate better is we want to have, oh god, okay, I got to make sure this whole thing here is working properly because my notepad right now is, I don't think I'll ever get used to this. I don't think I will ever get used to this. But what you want to do is you want to have a clear, oh god, I can't even spell right now. Such a good Friday, huh? Clear message. All right. That is what's going to help you communicate your value very well. If you have a clear message, and I'm just talking about just one message, actually, just one, not even five, six, seven, eight, just one clear message. If you have just one clear message that in your video you want to convey, that is much better than having two, than having three, than having four, etc. Just have one clear message. You want to say one thing, something, and you, of course, you want to maybe hit on one of the logos, pathos, ethos, whatever stuff you want to hit on for your message. It could be even maybe if you're just promoting something and you just want to get one simple message across about the promotion, just get that clear message across. That is very important to have. Another thing that is also very important to have is, okay, now my whole notepad thing is being, it's not being very friendly right now, but you want to have good visuals. And what do I mean by good visuals? I mean, you want to have a good background. Your background should not be busy. You should have good lighting. Um, Lighting should be light. Your face should be lit. We should be able to see your eyeballs, see your face very clear. Because if we're not seeing your face very clear, or your background is being very busy and stuff like that, we get distracted. We can't see you. What is the point of it? We won't really pay attention to what you're saying because we can't see into your souls, your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to a person's soul. I think that's what the saying is. So have good visuals. Of course, you also want to have good text on screen if you are doing some piece that needs text on screen to illustrate your point better. Have good visuals, good branding, good text, proper hierarchy, proper design for the text too. Also, if you are doing maybe something of a more light-hearted note, then you want to have good animation or something like that, or incorporate some visuals into it to also help your message get across very well. Because you're watching the video, right? We don't want to just see one thing, that's it, like a talking head video. We want to see different things, stimulate us a little bit, like get us moving from one thing into another, showing and not telling. That's what it is, showing and not telling. For example, how I'm doing right now, I am showing you rather than just telling you. Sure, I could just sit down here and just go to this part here. Let's just say I can just sit down here right now and I can just talk to you like this, but this is boring. This is kind of boring. So that's why I do it this way, where you're seeing something on the screen too, and I'm writing it out here, and it's much more visual than just I'm just gonna sit down here and just talk to one thing on screen. That's another thing to communicate your message on video, communicating better on video. Another thing is to make your content engaging. um what do I mean by that? Let me write this down here. Oof, God, this handwriting. I promise, my handwriting is bad, but it's not this bad. Make your content engaging. What do I mean by that, right? I mean, basically, you want to be able to uh what's it, yeah, you want to keep it clear and concise, right? You want to have your message clear and concise, whatever you want to say. If it's a very short message that you want to lay out, we don't need a 30-minute video on it. It's a very short message, we don't need 30 minutes for just one short message. If it's a video that requires maybe a few more context, a few more background notes, or a little more meat to the bone, right? Then maybe you can have it for a little longer, but the shorter the better. And of course, when you're making the content engaging, also that will also tie back in with good visuals. That would also tie back with the good visuals. Good visuals just helps keep the attention, and of course also makes it engaging. If you're having a text on screen popping up, if you're having another graphic, if you're having b-roll, if you're having stock footage playing, all of that does tie into making the content interesting and engaging for someone to keep watching. And also, what I mean by engaging too is also by what you say, not just by what we see or what we hear. It's also by what you say in terms of what you're going to be saying. Like if you're just saying something very boring, or you're just rambling on, the content is not engaging. If you're keeping it clear, concise, and straight to the point, giving some good context, using proper grammar or whatever, then we can engage in it more and we can start to understand even better. And of course, if you are telling the story, even more engaging too. Which brings me to the next point when we talk about story, is use storytelling. Now, we want to tell a story, right? In terms of whatever it is. Let's say if you are a realtor, right, and you're trying to show a listing, a new listing that you have, right, and you're trying to communicate like a boss on video, right, use a bit of storytelling. Give us a little history, an interesting history about the listing that is very interesting. It could be the history of it actually, or it could be the future history of it. Like imagine yourself in this home sitting down here, or you come back home at one time and you're sitting down here on Super Bowl night, and you have things around you, kind of whatever it is with the listing, right? Maybe the microwave is unique, or maybe the fridge is unique, or maybe the entertainment center is unique. This specific living room is unique because of the way it's positioned for views for something. Whatever it is, use story, use some kind of storytelling, tell a story with it. And if you can, show some visuals to it too. Show and not tell if you can. If you can't, then I mean, it's up to you. However you want. There are different ways. You can use graphics, or you can just there are multiple ways to do visuals. But yeah, you want to keep storytelling in mind. If you can tell a story, if you're doing a branded video too, like you're just sitting down there and talking in the branded video, tell a story about something. Tell a story about why you started the product, or why you started doing the service, or why you help these people, or why you do this specific thing. Whatever it is, tell a short story about that. And I just said something key there. Tell a short story. Don't tell a long story, because trust me, it's gonna get boring pretty quick, and people are gonna be like, okay, I'm waiting for the good part. I'm waiting for that punchline. It's kind of like the joke, right? You tell two you have two setups and then a punchline, two setups and a punchline, kind of in that way. Like you have a beginning, middle, and then the end is like the punchline, and then that's your story in that kind of way. So that's what you want to do. Another thing is that is also very important is also, God, man, this tablets, man, is be yourself. Ah, very, very important. A lot of people tend to put on a face, right? A fake face that doesn't fit them. And they feel like I need to put this on because this is what would be best for the video, or this is what would be best for the brand. And if I be myself, if I'm just my normal self, then I would feel like an imposter, right? The imposter syndrome. So they tend to put on a face or a character for video or for whatever they want to do, right? Which, in sometimes, if you do it moderately, let's say, of course, there's someone, let's say if you are the kind of person that likes to cuss a lot, and you like to really cuss and cuss and cuss, and you know that your target audience doesn't really like that, or the mission, your brand mission, or whatever that your brand is not really aligned with those kinds of things, then you might want to maybe cut back a little bit on that. Maybe I'm not, no one is telling you to change yourself or whatever, but you have to be able to adapt. Number one, you have to also be able to be yourself. There's a difference between being yourself and changing your entire identity, and there's a difference between being able to adapt and being able to completely be a fake person. Those are two different things. So be yourself, of course. Speak properly and all of that, and of course, just if you are the type of person that likes to be fun, likes to be loud and whatever, be fun, be loud, but of course, know the pros and cons to it. If you're the kind of person that likes to be more quiet and more laid back like I am, then of course, have the balance of being able to be very loud and being able to be fun, that kind of thing, right? There needs to be some kind of balance going on. Another one, which is another important thing, is to practice. I'm putting this all in caps because in the last one, this was a very important one. So practice times 3. Just practice, keep practicing. And before, some people, like I said before, some people would be able to be more comfortable on camera, right? They'll be more comfortable on camera, so that way they're able to communicate even better, right? And that just comes from practice sometimes. Some people are natural at it, as I said early on, and some people it takes them longer. Some people might take them even a shorter amount of time. It just depends. You never know until you start practicing, doing more videos, being more on camera, speaking more, and actually doing the act. The person who, what is that saying? The person who sharpens, oh yeah, the person who cuts the tree for 1,000 hits to eventually make the tree cut, versus a person who sharpens the knife and cuts it once, that kind of thing. So you're sharpening that knife. Well, I guess that analogy does not work in this place, because in terms of practicing, you'll be the one doing the cutting, right? So it won't work in this way. um yeah, let's skip that analogy. Another thing is to big one, edit. Edits properly. Edit it properly. When you're doing your video, for example, if you're doing a live stream like this, let's just say right now, if you're doing a live stream or whatever, Instagram live stream, YouTube live stream, whatever it is, just forget about this part. They edit properly because you're doing it live. I mean, you can take it, of course, and repurpose it and edit it properly then, but it's still the same. It's still about the same thing, still the same context and stuff. But in terms of if you're doing a normal video, once again, going back to the realtor kind of situation of the new listing that you're showing, you do want to be able to edit your video properly and not have too many. Let's say, let's go on two different spectrums, right? You have the flashy edits and you have the very boring edits, and you want to be somewhere in the not very middle, but somewhere slightly, depending on where your brand is. If your brand is more of the flashy type, and then your audience is more of the I gotta get stimulated all the time, then you might want to be somewhere in the middle, but slightly over to the flashy side. But if your brand is more of the more chill, more laid back, more maybe elderly audience, and so then you want to be slightly more on the side, but you want to be generally around in that general middle region, right? You don't want to be all the way flashy. You don't want to be all the way boring. So edit it properly. Make sure it's flowing very well. When you're showing the listing, whatever it is, make sure that you are showing and telling at the same time, showing and telling if it's something, or maybe if you can just show, of course, just show it and you don't have to tell it. Sometimes that can be more engaging because we start to wonder about, this is pretty interesting, or I'm waiting for something like that or so, rather than I'm telling you everything that you just need to know. So edit your videos properly. If you don't have any way to edit, or you're not good at editing, or you hate editing, or you suck at editing, or whatever it is, you have two options. It's either you really just suck it up and edit the video, or you just get someone to do it for you. Those are your two options in that case. But if you like doing it, if you like editing, by all means, edit it, but edit it properly, of course. And finally, for the very last one on my notes here, I have promote it. Promote the video. Now you might be wondering, how is promoting the video going to help me communicate like a boss? Two things. First, you're going to get feedback from the video. You're going to get some feedback. If the video is a very viral video, or is a video that gets thousands and thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views, you will get maybe a few people here and there that may be negative and maybe say something that could possibly hurt your feelings. Could be. But keep in mind that all of these, you take it with a grain of salt, and some of them would be actually good feedback. You just got to know where, when you're reading whatever the comments are, whatever the feedbacks are, you just got to be able to read and know which one is more going to better your game, up your communication game, or your brand, or whatever it is, which one is more constructive and which one is more destructive. You just got to be able to know which one. And that is just from, practicing. That's just from reading. That's just being able to communicate too, and know exactly what you want to apply onto your brand moving forward. So if you have a video like that, maybe you have, oh, by the way, before I even go into the other point I was going to say, is if you have friends and families, very close and friends and families, and you know that these are the kind of people that would always say positive things about whatever you put out, then you probably don't want to take too much advice from them, or too much. Take it with a grain of salt. Whatever their feedback is, take whatever their feedback is with a grain of salt. Because it's not all the time is everything going to be positive. There might be a few things here and there that someone be like, yo, that was a great video. I heard you loud and clear. I love the video. But next time, I feel like if you did just this one little tweak here, it will make it even so much better. You want to try that for next time? Boom. Very constructive. It's like, oh, you just make this tweak, of course, with reasons why to make the tweak or whatever. And then you'll be like, that makes sense. That is a very, very good point. Next time I will do that. And that was very good. Another thing, which I'm gonna say was, so this week, what was it, on Tuesday or Wednesday, like that, I was in a meeting and we were having an elevator pitch meeting, right? And I gave my elevator pitch, my normal elevator pitch, right? It went fine, it went smooth, but just one little tweak that the host was telling me, that if you just tweak this one thing, that will make the whole thing even much better for this specific reason. And that made sense to me. And I was like, yes, that actually makes more sense. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and make the tweak. And from now on, I'm saying my elevator pitch with the tweak with the feedback that I got. So just being able to know which one is constructive, which one is destructive, which one you have to kind of pick from and go with, and which one that is just completely someone hating on you, because it's going to happen when you have a lot of views like that. Or even sometimes maybe you don't even have a lot of views and there's someone, lots of people hating, then maybe there's a problem somewhere. If there's lots of views on something, or if there's the percentage of haters on a video versus the percentage of people who like the video, it's dramatically different, then maybe there's something wrong with that content, that video. Maybe there's something wrong with it. So go back to the drawing board, relook that video, and really see what's wrong with it, why people be negative about it. But yeah, these are the steps. And before I even go into the end and all of that, I do want to share a video that does very, very well in terms of communicating like a boss on video, like communicating properly, like you seem like someone that I can listen to, or a brand that I can listen to, was a video that Airbnb put out not too long ago, maybe like last year or so. And I do want to share that. So let me see if I can grab the link here and share that really quick. It's a commercial though. It's a commercial. I was trying to find some other videos for more samples, but I was like, okay, we are probably going to be here for more than 20 minutes if I'm trying to find other videos and put in other videos and showing you how people are communicating properly. So instead of me doing all of that and showing you on stream, I'm just going to show you one. If you do want to see the rest, I mean, there are multiple videos that people do very well in terms of communicating. Break it down, reverse engineer things, and you see. If you want some more samples, do reach out to us, do reach out to me. I will send you some videos, some good samples and examples that you can look from, and you can see how people are communicating very well, which is other than commercials. What I'm going to show you right now is a commercial that does very well with that in terms of communicating with that. I hope there is some volume.
Already, Hurricane Sandy is the
I don't know if there's some volume to this. I hope there is. Uh, okay. I hope there is. I'm just going to put myself over here. And then we can watch it. Let me go full here.
already
Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just remove myself.
Hurricane Sandy is the most destructive hurricane of 2012. Sandy's unprecedented flooding is displacing thousands of people across the eastern seaboard.
Dear Airbnb, I have an idea. Seeing thousands of people have lost their homes to Hurricane Sandy, I want to find a way to help. My apartment is available. I'm wondering if I could list it for free.
Where does a movement start? This one started with one host named Shell, one inspiring idea that went and inspired thousands of others to open their homes to strangers who need it most, creating a movement built by you, and you, and you. And where we go from here is everywhere.
All right. Wasn't that just a very beautiful video right there? Let me go full screen here. All right. Wasn't that just a very good video right there? I hope that there was some audio to it. I didn't really see. There's no way for me to really see on my software here, so we're just gonna cross fingers and hope that you were able to hear the whole video. One other thing that I wanted to say, which I completely forgot too, was within this. Here, let me bring this back up here. Was within this part here of editing properly. Music plays a big role in terms of your video. Music really does play a big role. So do not forget using music, proper music, not just any regular generic music. The music has to fit with your content. It has to fit with your piece. Don't just go on Google and just Google something free and whatever and slap that on there, because most of the times those would be very generic. Or nowadays, you might even find one that was made from AI and it has no musical sense or musical note to it and no musical feeling, like there was no feeling put into it. You know, if music is good when you really can feel it, like you can feel someone put energy and time and effort into making that piece of music. That's the kind of music you should be looking out for, not someone that is just going to just do a few things here and there, use the computer technology to loop it a few times, and then sayonara. That's it. So music plays a big role in that. And with that being said, guys, I hope you really enjoyed today. We are close to our time, so I hope moving forward you're able to take these tips and tricks, or I don't know if there are any tricks, but it's more tips. And moving forward, you're able to communicate even better on video like a boss. Last stream was about being confident on camera, just about confidence and motivation, of course, getting in there to actually record the video. And today we are talking about how to communicate on the video itself. Next week, I'm not sure what the topic is yet. We will see. Like I said, I scrapped up a lot of my topics that I was going to talk about, and the main reason for that was because after so many talks with a lot of business owners, I'm starting to figure out really what people are struggling with nowadays. And especially with now that AI is really coming out and blowing up the whole industries and everything around the whole world, is more than important now that you understand how to really be on video properly. So a lot of things are changing. Next week, we'll look out for the topic. We will be scheduling out soon. And if that is something of your interest, do tune into the live stream. If not, of course, if you're not able to reach the live stream or whatever, this is always pre-recorded. Not I said pre-recorded. I mean, this is always recorded. Hey, it is not pre-recorded. Okay, I can see the time right now. It is 12:56. Okay, but this is going to be recorded and this is going to be sent out. This is going to be on the YouTube channel. It's going to be sent out to our email list with some more information, some more tips and whatever. And of course, it's going to be chopped up, repurposed for social media. So if you don't have the time to tune in live, look out for those, whichever one that you prefer. And I forgot to do my music here. I love this music. Yeah, okay. And of course, as always, I am Will, and don't forget to always make the right video. I'm out.